I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. NAZIYAH Harris case is coming together now. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? The moment that social media has been waiting for has finally arrived. Yes. Word on the streets, if you haven't already heard, word on the streets is that in the days to come, Shannon will be brought some charges. Now, what I want to do is, I want to start from the very beginning. I want to backtrack. For those that are new and don't have an understanding, and even for those that have been around the case and just still don't understand why social media is pointing the finger at Shannon. So for all the newbies to the case and for all those that still don't get it, we're going to take this demonstration to present why social media feels strongly Shannon should be held accountable. I will be dropping the link. If anyone want to join me on the panel, I'll drop the link and we're going to chop it up, y'all. But word on the streets is that London Bridge is falling down. Now, we're going to start with family members of NAZIYAH Harris, Kiwana and Janelle. Kiwana and Janelle's CPS report. Janelle placed the CPS report first. Kiwana placed the CPS report second. So we're going to start there. Salute to the chat. Salute to all of my moderators. Salute to the replay gang.
Right now, Jarvis Butts is awaiting trial for the murder and sexual abuse of NAZIYAH Harris.
After listening to days of testimony last month, a judge called Butts a monster and said that opportunities to protect the 13-year-old girl were missed. Tonight, the 7 investigators are revealing years of warnings that preceded Butts' alleged crimes.
Warnings that family members say were made to Children's Protective Services that could have saved NAZIYAH's life. Here's what 7 investigator Ross Jones has uncovered.
You look at that face and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing.
Now, even before Janelle's and Kiwana's CPS reports, even before they placed the reports, because if I'm not mistaken, it was actually Shannon that shared this information with Janelle about the inappropriate touching. So way before the 2022 CPS reports were placed in, Shannon knew that these children were being inappropriately touching. Shannon knew the type of man that she welcomed with open arms into her home, into her life, also into the lives of these children. Shannon did nothing to stop it. Shannon had 5 babies by Jarvis, a known SO. A known SO. Shannon could have stopped it. Shannon could have been nipped it in the bud. But let's go deeper to the CPS reports that Janelle and Kiwana placed.
Years before Jarvis Butts would be charged by Wayne County's prosecutor, accused of killing and sexually abusing 13-year-old NAZIYAH Harris, Harris's own relatives say they saw the warning signs and told anyone who would listen.
So that at that point, I was like, this is too much. I'm calling CPS.
I tried not just once, but multiple times for them to take me serious in what I was saying.
Kiwana Morton and her cousin Jernell are both relatives of NAZIYAH Harris. In February of 2022, Jernell says she learned of allegations of improper touching involving Butts and other small children. She says she was told about the claims while talking to her niece, Jarvis Butts' girlfriend, and that the alleged victims were NAZIYAH Harris and 2 other children.
There it is right there. Now keep in mind, this is Janelle's reporting the CPS. So how is it that when Janelle made the report, it fell on death's door, right? Then after Janelle, Kiwana comes and make a CPS report. I see y'all in the chat. Just give me a minute, y'all. I'm going to come down there. I see y'all in the chat. But I'm just trying to, for those, because there are a lot of newbies to the case, and they're not where we're at. And so what we want to do is we want to catch the newbies up to speed. And then, like I said, there are still not many, but still a small percentage. Appreciate you, SPHJ. Deaf ears. It fell on deaf ears. Appreciate the correction, SP. But for those, now I get the newbies that don't know too much about what's been going on. But for those that know this case, that still don't get it. This demonstration is not about Jarvis. Look, they got Jarvis. This demonstration is on Shannon and about others. Because see, thanks to social media, thanks to the content creators, that's why there is the momentum that's bringing everybody that's involved with failing NAZIYAH. We the content creators and the subscribers, we the ones that's been pushing hard. If it wasn't up to us, trust me, y'all, their main focus and their only focus would be Jarvis. We the ones that raised the eyebrows, and we the ones that pointed out things that was wrong. We're the ones that's been on the family's heels.
I was just like, oh my God, I was not crazy. This needs to be looked into.
She says she took the claim seriously in part because Butts was on the sex offender registry, having spent more than 8 years in prison for third-degree criminal sexual conduct. She didn't alert authorities at first because she believed her niece would notify police. But weeks later, Jernell did notify Child Protective Services. Her complaint came in on April 13th, 2022. There was an incident at a birthday party, the complaint reads. One of the children that attended the party accused Jarvis of sexual abuse. NAZIYAH, and name withheld, reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. Jarvis touched, name withheld, in her private area, and it hurt. Jernell made the complaint over the phone.
They basically told me if they needed me for anything else, they would reach out.
Now let me stop right here. And Janelle, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but where did Janelle get that information from? Janelle got that information from Shannon. Janelle can clear it up. Now, if Janelle got this information from Shannon, why didn't Shannon report it herself? Why didn't you report it yourself, Shannon? And if it wasn't Shannon, and whatever niece it was that told Janelle that, they coming for you. They coming for you. Whoever it was that told Janelle, gave Janelle that information, they coming for you. What you gonna do when they come for you? See, what has happened now, the hierarchies in the investigation, they're involved. This is just not no regular, small time detectives, that's been investigating it. The hierarchies is involved. They had to get involved. Too much pressure coming on them. So they got to do what they got to do, or if not, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be out of jobs up there in Detroit. So they backtracking this NAZIYAH Harris case, and everybody that ain't right. Just like Jarvis Butts. Now, I can't say that everybody will have serious charges, but everybody, and I mean everybody, y'all, is about to be held accountable for failing NAZIYAH Harris. It's so much that's getting ready to come out. It's so much that came across my desk. I have to wait. I'll drop a little seed here and there, but it's so much that come across my desk about this case, y'all.
Day, Janelle would receive a text from her niece, Butt's girlfriend, confirming that CPS had contacted her. CPS called me, the text reads. They called about the well-being of my kids. Then they called back to get Jarvis info.
There it is right there. CPS called. And I'm going to backtrack, y'all. I'm going to backtrack. CPS called Shannon. What you tell him, Shannon? What you tell him, Shannon? Everybody that want justice for NAZIYAH Harris, at least when it comes to Shannon, everybody should be on the same page, whether you like her or not. If we going by the facts that's presented to us, everybody that wants justice for NAZIYAH Harris, everybody should be on the same page when it comes to Shannon. And if you're not on the same page with everybody else, ain't nothing that I could tell you. You probably have to go to somebody else and let them explain to you why we feel the way we feel about Shannon. Let me backtrack and let it play out, y'all.
Phone.
They basically told me if they needed me for anything else, they would reach out.
The next day, Janelle would receive a text from her niece, Butt's girlfriend, confirming that CPS had contacted her. CPS called me, the text reads. They called about the well-being of my kids. Then they called back to get Jarvis info. A CPS spokeswoman would not tell 7 News Detroit if investigators ever questioned NAZIYAH Harris after receiving the complaint. But we do know it wasn't the only complaint filed with CPS, naming Jarvis Butts.
And it wasn't easy for me to call protective services just because of the horror stories that you hear.
Kawana Morton said she heard about the same allegations against Butts from a conversation with his girlfriend. 2 months after her cousins called to CPS, she would file her own complaint.
Let me stop it right there, y'all. Here comes a second family member. Kiwana. Appreciate the super sticker, Charlotte. Here comes a second. It took 2 family members. And even with the second family member placing the CPS report, nothing still was done about Jarvis. Why? Appreciate the super sticker, Leo. Why was nothing done? Because it's bigger than Jarvis. Trust me, y'all. If it was only Jarvis, trust me, this would have been taken care of. Appreciate the super sticker, Michelle. Appreciate the super sticker, Rhapsody. The newbies might say, okay, Shank, but what do that got to do with Shannon? As I explained earlier, Shannon is the middle person. Shannon is telling CPS, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. Because if Shannon would have went along and told the truth, they would have locked Jarvis up. Appreciate this super sticker, Valerie. They'd have locked Jarvis up. But here's the other piece of the puzzle. Shannon didn't act alone. Miss Annette is in the mix. Remember when Shannon went to Miss Annette about should we call the police on January the 9th? And Miss Annette told Shannon, we're going to wait till tomorrow. Same thing when this CPS report, when these CPS reports got filed, Shannon went to Miss Annette. And Miss Annette shot called it. Miss Annette covered for Jarvis, y'all. It came out, Miss Annette. It came out. Once them officials, and I'm going to tell you when it came out, once them officials saw that birthday party video when Miss Annette was breaking her neck to get the Jarvis, once they saw that video, they took a deeper dive into Miss Annette. It's coming out. Because Miss Annette said on that stand, Jarvis don't come in the house. Miss Annette made it seem like Jarvis was, here and there. If he come through, he out in the car or the van or whatever it may be. The kids go out there. The only time NAZIYAH go out there is if Shannon is out there. So when they see that video, that birthday video, they know. So now they had to start pointing the fingers. Who in law enforcement is covering for Annette? Y'all already know when the hierarchies come down on law enforcement, no matter what dirt law enforcement is doing, no matter what dirt law enforcement is allowing to let go, when the hierarchies come down on their asses, they ain't having no part in it. They gonna start pointing fingers. They gonna start talking. We seen it all the time. This is a major investigation, and people that failed NAZIYAH are being held accountable. If you still holding on, if you're still holding on to Shannon and Miss Annette and whoever else is involved, you want to run for the border. Or you want to come clean. One or the other. Let me get back, y'all. I'm going to let it ride all the way through, and then I'll come back, y'all. Let me let it ride all the way through. Let me come back here. All right. I'm going to let it ride all the way through.
At first because she believed her niece would notify police. But weeks later, Janelle did notify Child Protective Services. Her complaint came in on April 13th, 2022. There was an incident at a birthday party, the complaint reads. One of the children that attended the party accused Jarvis of sexual abuse. NAZIYAH, and name withheld, reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. Jarvis touched name withheld in her private area, and it hurt. Janelle made the complaint over the phone.
They basically told me if they needed me for anything else, they would reach out.
The next day, Janelle would receive a text from her niece, But's girlfriend, confirming that CPS had contacted her. CPS called me, the text reads. They called about the well-being of my kids. Then they called back to get Jarvis info. A CPS spokeswoman would not tell 7 News Detroit if investigators ever questioned NAZIYAH Harris after receiving the complaint. But we do know it wasn't the only complaint filed with CPS naming Jarvis Butts.
And it wasn't easy for me to call Protective Services just because of the horror stories that you hear.
Kawana Morton said she heard about the same allegations against Butts from a conversation with his girlfriend. 2 months after her cousins called to CPS, she would file her own complaint.
I told them that there's a problem and they need to be aware of it. I am 90% sure that there's sexual abuse going on within the home.
Did you specifically mention Jarvis by name?
Yes, absolutely.
Internal CPS records we obtained show that investigators looked into that complaint, conducting a face-to-face interview with Butts, who strongly denied the allegation. A forensic interview was conducted with the alleged victim, and no disclosures were made. CPS said the home was clean and free of observed safety concerns. The allegation was denied, assigned a low-risk level. These are 2 complaints of at least 5 filed with CPS since 2015 naming Jarvis Butts. They allege concerns about possible molestation, physical abuse, or living conditions. Some of the complaints are generic, and none would ultimately substantiate that Butts was improperly touching children.
I gotta stop it right here, y'all, before I forget. Now, let's just put 2 and 2 together. And I'm gonna drop the link early. If anybody want to join me on the panel, let me drop the link early, and let me just come in and say, drop a 1. Drop a 1 if you don't think Shannon should be held accountable. Let me drop a 1. And it's okay. It's okay. Now, if Jarvis was the only person, and I know what y'all gonna say. I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say, well, Shank, we understand why Shannon was covering for Jarvis. She was in love. She was slow. She was dumb. He manipulated her. True. However, why didn't Miss Annette? See, Miss Annette is the shot caller. Miss Annette is the one that say green light, red light. Miss Annette was aware of this. Yes or no? Appreciate this super sticker, Big Mama. Miss Annette was aware. Give me a second because I got a special guest that I'm getting ready to bring up. But why wasn't Miss Annette involved in saying, oh, hell no, this light-skinned ninja inappropriately touched my babies? The hell with you, Shannon. This light-skinned ninja going down. That's why it's bigger than Jarvis. Miss Annette played a major role in this. Let me bring my special guest up. Salute, Keisha.
Oh, hello, hey. No, this is what I'm just trying to say. And hey, Miss Parker too. That's my boo. But who was it? Who I'm trying to say? They lied and said that Jarvis never attended a birthday party. And like you said, like with social media, like we able to like go look at old stuff and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that they looked at that, saw those videos and said, oh, they lied. Or you get what I'm saying? She lied because y'all been saying all along, oh, he never came to the house and he only did this and he only did that. So why was we able to find these videos that states otherwise? Because y'all lied. And that's what they doing. They rounding them up. Shannon going, then they gonna get Annette. But I believe like with Shannon and her whole little warrant thing, she's trying to be on the run as long as she can so they can try to offer her some type of immunity or something like that to, you get what I'm saying? To say like, okay, well, if I tell you this, and you get what I'm saying, for y'all to not prosecute me, because we been knew Shannon was going down. It was just all a matter of time. And I want to say something else too, but this gonna be a little off subject, but kind of with the same subject. Like, you know, it's always easy for, you know, for everybody to be like, oh, tell your parents, tell your parents, tell your parents. And a lot of times, like, you know, it's not accurate. And when Miss Parker, I got the chills right now. But when Miss Parker was going live, I was you know, I was trying to get up on the panel and talk about that because my niece, she's 9 years old. And my sister, baby daddy, was like touching on her. She finally gained the strength to come out and say, like, you know, what he did. But hey, it really didn't matter because guess what? My sister still deal with him.
Mm.
So sometimes, like, you know, our mother's supposed to be out protecting stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, family ain't worth nothing for real.
That's right.
Like, even your own mama, your own daddy. Like, so, yeah. That ain't always, you know, accurate to go to your mama.
Right. And see, this is what I'm saying as far as Miss Annette. Now, like I said, and if people say Shank, you know, Shannon, Jarvis manipulated Shannon, you know, some people will say Shannon was scared of Jarvis, Shannon
No.
was in love. I get all that. But Miss Annette don't have no connections. That's why I'm saying, for those that keep stressing to us, it's about Jarvis. It's only Jarvis. It's not, because
It's not.
Miss Annette and Shannon, they allowed this. It's no way in the world that Janelle and Kiwana had to make that CPS report when Shannon and Miss Annette Shannon told Janelle about it. So, and you know, if Janelle knew about, you know, if Shannon knew about, Miss Annette knew. So Janelle and what Janelle and Kiwana done, Shannon and Miss Annette was supposed to have done. They
you know
can't.
what I ain't trying to
Let
cut
me
you. You know.
let me just say. Let me.
Okay.
They can't let that slide.
Right.
I'm hoping Miss Annette and Shannon, I'm hoping y'all realize they can't let that slide. The people that y'all are connected to, they covering for you, but them hierarchies, they can't let that slide. Come on there, Keisha.
No, I was gonna say, you know, Shannon and Miss Annette, they remind me of Gypsy Rose and her mama. How her mama was, you know, controlling her and saying like, you know, oh, this, that. Because when you listen to Shannon and her testimony, it was always, and mama told me, and you know, I'm listening to what mama's saying, like, and that you was not trying to get that money cut off. And y'all reporting her as missing, you will still receive some type of compensation because she's not declared unalive. She's just missing. So she, in your mind, or you know, they mind is, oh, she might be back tomorrow, or she might be back next week or next month. So them two just put me in the mind of Gypsy Rose and her mama. Like, the mama was just, you know, basically impairing her. And Shannon, from the way that she talk and stuff like that, you're not slow. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, I'm saying slow as far as, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you ain't disabled. Yeah, you impaired because you let your mama impair you, but you know right from wrong. And it just behooves me that your child, have you know, and you've been knowing from the sounds of it that he was doing this to your child, and like you still decided to mess with this man knowing that he did these things to your child. Marquita, you still sit up there and try to be a protector for your sister knowing that this man have done something to your child. So it just furthermore just go like, y'all knew exactly what was going on, but the thing about it is, y'all never thought that this story would be this big. And you know, people wouldn't care about this child that much.
And let me slide in, Keisha, before I forget. The story got this big because of us, the content creators. All content creators, pop your collar, talk your ish. That's why it got viral. That's why it blew, because of us. Come on in, Keisha. Give me some last words, and then I'm going to drop you down because I want to move forward to Shannon's testimony.
I'm gonna
Come
go.
on, Keisha.
No,
Give me some
I
last
just
words.
no. I'm just saying I just gonna go because I talk all day and night. So I'm just gonna let me leave now while I can leave.
I'm gonna bring you back up, but I want to
Okay.
move forward. But I'm gonna bring you back up. All right, I'm gonna bring you back up.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down and come back up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We're gonna let everybody give Keisha a round of applause. She always drop jewels when she come up. Let me let this finish, and then we're gonna go to Shannon's testimony. Let me backtrack it, y'all. Let me backtrack. Damn, I ain't know it was all that. All right, let's go ahead.
Yes, absolutely.
Internal CPS records we obtained show that investigators looked into that complaint, conducting a face-to-face interview with Butts, who strongly denied the allegation. A forensic interview was conducted with the alleged victim, and no disclosures were made. CPS said the home was clean and free of observed safety concerns. The allegation was denied, assigned a low-risk level. These are 2 complaints of at least 5 filed with CPS since 2015, naming Jarvis Butts. They allege concerns about possible molestation, physical abuse, or living conditions. Some of the complaints are generic, and none would ultimately substantiate that Butts was improperly touching children. Just over a year after the last complaint on record, Butts would be charged with sexually assaulting and murdering NAZIYAH Harris.
I'm brokenhearted because this could have been prevented. All of it could have been prevented.
Attorneys for Jarvis Butts declined comment for this story, citing his pending criminal case. As for CPS, a spokeswoman for the Department of Health and Human Services said that their hearts go out to the family and friends of NAZIYAH Harris. It says that state and federal laws prohibit them from commenting on what we just reported, but that they are committed to ensuring the health and safety of all children.
All right, y'all. Let me chop it up with my chat, and then we're going to go to Shannon's testimony. Appreciate you becoming a member, Tour Africa. And if you would like to help me reach my goal of super stickers and super chats, just click on the $ symbol and purchase a super sticker or a super chat. Or you could purchase a membership to the channel. Or if you have a cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. Let me come to the chat for a minute, y'all. Let me entertain my chat. And that's why the family is mad and want the content creators to be quiet. Facts. That's facts. It's facts. CPS failed all those kids. Facts. Somewhere alive but saying nothing. I see you, Lakeisha. My bad. I'm coming, y'all. Why he over there limping? I have no idea, Angelita. But he be limping. He got the mask on. Kiwana ain't no dang old broken hearted. She's evil and selfish hearted with a lot of hate. She must be real cold with all that stuff on. They failed me when I was little. I had a black eye, busted lip, and whips on my body, and they still sent me home to my mom after being SA at a party, shaking my head. I don't trust CPS. Can I get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for blessing Mom One? Sorry that you had to experience such trauma. CPS ain't ish, y'all. Appreciate the super sticker, Latoya. Salute to the content creators, to Miss Parker, Shanitra Speaks, Mocha, Cold Piece, Law Tone, MGTV, Brittany Ann, and all the other content creators that's been covering it. Every time I had a dream, she is literally alive. Head down, feel sorry for me, manipulator. Let me grab the swiping, no swiping. Let me grab the, give me a minute, y'all. I'm gonna take a little break and I'm gonna grab the her preliminary. Give me a minute, y'all.
The biggest thing for me is reliability. Somebody that stands behind their word. You know, when they tell you they're going to do something, they're going to do it.
No.
All right, y'all. Let's tap into Shannon's preliminary. And we're going to focus on the key points, all right? And I will drop the link. And once again, feel free to join me on the panel. All right. Now, this is Shannon. For all the newbies, this is Shannon.
Or any other room in the house alone?
No.
Would Mr. Butts have ever been in that house if another adult, like you or your mother, weren't there?
He will, what you said,
Would Mr. Butts ever be at the house if you or your mother weren't there?
no, it will be me or another person.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and NAZIYAH is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No,
You never noticed anything between NAZIYAH and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
no,
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Now, word on the street is that there are text messages that's going to come out way before this that Shannon and Jarvis were texting. Shannon and other family members were texting about the inappropriately touching between Jarvis and these children. Let me read this comment from Shay Small. Prayers to all the victims, praying for everybody that had to go through this. And people wonder why I don't trust nobody with my two children. And I understand why you don't trust nobody. I understand because I don't trust nobody. Appreciate this super sticker, the secret rub. All right. So what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? How are you going to explain these text messages, Shannon? And these text messages that you were texting was way before NAZIYAH went missing on January the 9th. These text messages allegedly go back as far as 2021. But you just lied by saying you knew nothing. All right, let's get back.
Certainly, if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Well, let's go back to the CPS report, right? And it's a no-brainer. That's why I don't know why people are still trying to get us to only focus on Jarvis. Let's go back to the CPS report. What did Janelle say? And my opinion, I believe Janelle, because how would Janelle have known about the inappropriately touching if Shannon ain't tell her? So you already knew, Shannon. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this ish out. But you just lied. And I'm a backtracker. You just lied and said you ain't know nothing about it. But you told Janelle about the inappropriately touching that was going on. And y'all still want to come for us because we say Shannon is guilty? See, once you know the case, once you listen to content creators, that's why as content creators, I'm going to keep saying it. It's so important for all of us content creators to keep bringing the heat. They right. Yeah, Kim Worthy and all of them, the Jarvis defense, they watching y'all. Yeah, they should be watching us. They should be watching us. But they ain't the only ones that's watching us. Everybody watching us. Which one is it, Shannon? Did you know about the inappropriately touching or not? Because according to Janelle, that's what made Janelle file the report, because she thought that you was going to file the report. I would have thought the same thing. I would have thought the same thing. But you didn't. So you on the stand lying. I ain't know nothing about what was going on. Oh yeah, you knew a lot that was going on. And like I said, it's about to come out, y'all. It's about to come out. I'm going to drop the link in a minute, y'all. Give me a second. I'm going to drop the link in a minute. Give me a second. Let me backtrack.
Anything was going on between Mr. Butts and NAZIYAH is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between NAZIYAH and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Certainly, if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely, you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt NAZIYAH.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person.
I'm a backtrack at y'all, but I gotta stop it. Y'all know I got a short memory. Appreciate this super chat, Christina. Do you think Jarvis was giving Annette and Shannon whoop-de-whoop-whoop-whoop? Word on the street that he definitely was giving you know what to Shannon. Now, if we backtrack, the girl Cash, remember her video? Remember she kept saying that she was treating Shannon and Marquita by giving them old folks candy. Y'all know what old folks candy is. So now I'm not sure about Miss Annette, but he was giving it to Shannon. And Mel will probably come back up on the panel with us. Mel keeps saying Jarvis was the plug. Jarvis was a plug, right? But back to Shannon. Notice how, and we've been around liars. Shit, most of us done told a lie before. I told a lie before. We know how it is when people are lying. They hesitant. They're very careful with their words. They stutter. I'm a backtrack. Listen to Shannon. Just pay attention to Shannon. See, it's obvious. This shit right here with Shannon, it's obvious with Shannon. She make it obvious. I'm about to come to the chat, y'all. Give me a few seconds. I'm about to come to the chat. Listen how she answered the questions.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and NAZIYAH is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No,
You never noticed anything between NAZIYAH and Mr. Butts that made you concerned.
no,
You never saw any inappropriate behavior.
not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her.
No.
Certainly, if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely, you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt NAZIYAH.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
That was a straight yes or no question. Nah, he wouldn't hurt nobody. Yes, he would hurt somebody. No, he wouldn't hurt NAZIYAH. Yes, he wouldn't hurt NAZIYAH. But notice what she said. I wouldn't know what he would do if his back is up against the wall. Let me come to my chat. I wouldn't know what he would do if his back is against the wall. See, we're going to come back to that. Let me entertain my chat for a second. Watching you, Toot, and Miss Parker made me realize I was the victim at 15 years old. My so-called uncle-in-law did this to me, and my aunt blamed me. I believed it for 40 years. I'm 40 now, and I'm just waking up. Can I get some prayer hands for Lakeisha? And I'm sorry that you had to experience that. And see, this is why we do these demonstrations. This is why we drop the links for people to join our panel to tell their story. See, this is a healing process. And when people always say that there's a message in everything, and even in somebody's death, even in somebody's hardships, there's a message. Even in NAZIYAH Harris's death, look at the many people that NAZIYAH Harris has brought together. Look at the many women. Look at the many girls that have came out now because of NAZIYAH Harris case. Look at all the females that have come out to talk about what they went through. Yeah, she doesn't lie well at all. The way they was playing cleanup, but perjuring themselves on the stand. Lies, lies, lies. Yep, like a manipulator. They caught eyes, and the judge was looking at both of them like Shannon was trying to read Jarvis. Facts. Facts. Excuse me, y'all. Put the ball in the bullpen. Peep how Jarvis kept his eyes on her. Her tone didn't even change. Her teeth tight. She mad with the questions, not what happened. I want to thank y'all three from the bottom of my heart. I can talk about it now. You're welcome. And I'm just so glad that me, Toot, and Miss Parker was able to give these demonstrations to make you feel comfortable with coming out and speaking about it. So you're welcome. And we thank you, Lakeisha. And if it's anyone that would like to join me on my panel, I'll drop the link. If it's anyone that want to join me on my panel and want to tell us your story, if it's anybody that need to vent, feel free. When I drop the blue StreamYard link, just come on up and the panel is all yours. Shannon was telling without telling. That's facts, Kenyatta. She was telling without telling. She should have told the truth because she is in a lot deeper trouble now. That's facts. That's facts. She knows about what she did. That's the truth. Lakeisha, I'm so proud of you. Well, I'm way behind, y'all. All right. If anything, why would you keep staring at him? Sick. The other women at least looked at him and discussed. That's facts. I'm going to skip the comments, but then I'm going to come back to the comments, y'all. I think this is it right here. Appreciate the super chat, Christina. Notice Jara's reaction while Shannon answered. Appreciate the super sticker, Jessica. All right. Let me come back, y'all.
Into her.
No.
Certainly, if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely, you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt NAZIYAH.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe, correct?
Correct.
Now, during the time that you and Mr. Butts were together, he had children with other women.
Correct.
Pretty consistently with other women.
Correct.
More than one woman.
Correct.
Some of those women you actually knew about, correct?
Correct.
They lived kind of even in the same neighborhood on the east side.
Correct.
But you suspect that there were women that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Even one that lived, or more than one that lived over on the west side?
Correct.
You believe he was going out there to see somebody around the end of 2023, January 2024?
Correct.
Apartments.com helped me find a place I never want to leave. And neither do my friends. Search now on apartments.com.
Roku's self-serve ads platform. It's easier than ever with Ads Manager. Sign up today.
All right, I'm a backtrack it in a minute, y'all. Appreciate your super chat, Mary. Don't she know they're all going to jail for perjury? All the liars going down together. That's facts. That's facts. Talk to me, Keisha.
No, it's me. Got to jump back in. I was just
Come on, talk to
thinking
me.
about Annette, when she, with her testimony, how she got up there and she, once again, she lied about the whole who was living with her part. Remember when they asked about who was staying there, she was like, "Oh, my grandkids, what she said, my kids and my 2 grandkids." Then she jumped back to say that it was Marquita staying with her, because she was like, "Oh, well, to be honest with you, Shannon wasn't really staying." Like, it went from Shannon. No, it was Shannon. Then I don't know if it was Cross. I don't know if they was crossing her or whatever. I really can't remember. Then that's when she threw Marquita's name up in it, as if like she was trying to distance that Shannon was, you get what I'm saying, staying now, knowing that Jarvis was there. She tried to clean it up and add Marquita's name up in there. Like, oh no, Marquita, no, it was Marquita staying with me down the street before she moved, before she moved into the house that she in now. She tried to clean that one up, because earlier it was Shannon. Then she said, no, it was, Marquita was staying with me, like, because she knew she was lying, and she knew that it would come to a time to know Jarvis been in his house, and I done got up here and said he have not been in his house, because she jumped back and said Marquita and her kids. But remember, it's supposed to be Shannon and her kids. We know Shannon was staying there in 2023. But
that's facts.
Marquita too, I think. Probably before Shannon, but she did jump back in to try to put Marquita's name in it and distance Shannon from the situation.
That's facts.
Yeah, she did.
before January the 9th, you had a conversation with NAZIYAH about a location on Outer Drive in Belfort.
Yes.
And that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit.
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, "Hey, Titi," she said, "where is Belfort and Outer Drive?" And I told her, I said, "You know exactly where Belfort and Outer Drive at." I said, "Outer Drive is right where the wine basket at." And I said, "You know where Belfort at?" And she was like, "I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up." So I said, "You already know Belfort is before Bedford." So she said, "Okay." She said, "Because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings." So I said, "Okay." But that was the only two things that she had asked, was where was Outer Drive and Balfour at.
Does that location have any special significance to you?
No.
Do you know anybody at that location?
No, the only thing that I'm used to, I'm familiarized with just picking up Jarvis on Outer Drive in Belfort. It's just on a corner.
On a corner?
Mm-hmm.
Not at an address?
Not on the address.
Come on in if you want to, Keisha.
Ooh, y'all was finna see some wild old hell. Ooh, Jesus, thank you, Lord. But,
I seen it, but go ahead, Keisha.
Cause I'm brave my hell. But that was a lie. Listen to how she said that. She said, "TT, well, some. I can't say the name of the streets. Oh, you know that because we in school and we learn. First of all, you know she in school. We know she in school. She knows she in school. So why would she say? Cause yeah, you know we in school and we trying to like. Come on now, Shannon, stop the cap. Stop the cap." She got on that stand and she just tried to make everything sound so good in two shoes. That girl is sitting up there trying to save that man. She's trying to save that man every way possible. And just like they said, look how Jarvis looking when she's testifying. That's the longest. If you just sit up there and pay attention, that is the longest Jarvis is really putting his head up. He's gonna put his head up for a little bit and then he gonna drop it. But just think about it, as she talking, he just standing, he looking at her. Then it seemed like he feel like, oh, she might be looking, or I gotta see what they doing. I'm gonna drop my head, but I'm gonna pick it back up. That girl is a liar. She's a liar, and I'm gonna be so glad when she go down.
And that's facts. Let me read this comment. I'm just seeing this comment, Gracefully Living. Gracefully Living says, "It's hard, very hard, I know. From age 2 to 11, I was inappropriately touched by 5 different family members, 4 males and 1 female. Gave birth to my first child at 12. Mentally and silently, your brain has its own nightmare." Can I get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for gracefully living? And I'm so sorry that you had to experience that, gracefully living. Give me a minute, Mel. I'm going to bring you in. Give me 1 second. Let me read this. Appreciate this super sticker, Ruthie. I don't know if I read your super chat, Mary, but I'm going to read it again anyway. Don't you know they are all going to jail for perjury? All the liars going down together. Slide in, Mel.
Hey, Shane, salute. I was glad that you was playing Marquita's, what's the girl name? Shannon's thing, because I be trying to remember everything. Women's probably read her transcripts, but so I have a few things that sticks in my head about, especially her testimony, because when they talk about the text messages, I could have sworn this girl said, either her or Annette said, NAZIYAH didn't get a phone until January because her mama bought her a phone. So if she didn't get her phone to January, and I want to say it was like somewhere around the 4th, like maybe 5 days before she went missing. Who was texting Jarvis last year, the year before? Like, how was NAZIYAH texting him if she didn't get a phone to January?
Mm.
And then I also think that she said that lady went with Annette to report NAZIYAH missing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember if they went to the school or they went to the police department. However, you're her legal guardian. You adopted her, so why would you be taking her mom? And if you said you don't mess with your daughter, where did you find her at?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
You see what I mean?
I'm with you. And go ahead, Mal. Go ahead.
So when you think about all of that and just listen to her, Shannon, when she said, it was something that she was just answering. Oh, when the lady was asking her about the location that NAZIYAH was asking for. And she just said, oh, I just remember picking up Jarvis. Now, to me, I'm not saying that Jarvis didn't do what he did, because I'm quite sure I know he did, but I'm just saying it's like they are trying to bury him. And when you think about everything that has transpired, like, I think DPD didn't get the information about her disappearance for 30 days. But Annette's brother is the one that initiated the conversation about that, because he sent that other guy to talk to Annette. So why did he hold that information for 30 days? Was he trying to protect Jarvis or somebody else? You have to really think about that really deeply, because it's just kind of weird. Like, why would you hold that information for 30 days before you got the police? Well, you are the police. I'm sorry. But so those are the things that kind of stuck out to me. And also something that I heard Miss Parker say the other night, she had me cracking up, but which we talked about when King said that the car ran out of gas and they had to push it to the pump. And when she said who was steering it, she took me out. But it made sense. Who was steering it? Who was steering the truck? And then the sister watched all this go on, but she never mentioned it. Now, I want to say that she only said she saw NAZIYAH getting in and out the truck, but she never said anything about King and Jarvis having to push the truck to the pump. I can't say that she wasn't at that she didn't go to that shop, because I believe she did, but I believe he was her plug too.
Let me get back to y'all. Step on the panel. Let me get back to.
Can I say one thing before it slipped my mind?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This will make me think about when Shannon said. I just thought of this when she said about the what that B word street. It stuck out to her. She was picking him up on the corner. I feel. I mean, I'm just saying. This is my opinion. She said that to kind of cover her tracks too, because we don't know. Shannon and lied so much. We don't know if Shannon really stayed in that house all night on the night. How do we not know when he went to that girl? Because that's the little Christian girl stay that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we not know that Shannon didn't go and pick him up? And you get what I'm saying? And went with him and did what he did when she had to say, "Oh yeah, because I done went over there and I done picked him up before." And if they come back and bring it to you, you can say, "Oh well, I ain't know it was that. I ain't know it was around that time. I just know I went and picked him up." You get what I'm saying?
Right, I'm
almost
with
as
you.
if like she had to think about it, like, oh, let me say this. So if it did, you get what I'm saying? If it did come out, because
Yeah.
every time you look up, you keep on changing these phones. You done change your phone so many times, so that can be something about, you get what I'm saying? Oh, let
Mm-hmm.
me say this just in case they try to get a ping towel on me or something, and I can say, oh, well, I ain't know it was that day. You get what I'm saying? Because you're a
Mm-hmm.
liar. But that's all I was finna say.
And the street was Belford. The street is Belford. Out of drive in Belford. Let's come
Okay.
back to Shannon, y'all.
But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship?
No.
Would there ever be times where, where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Gratiot and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know NAZIYAH to help Jarvis Butts at his shop?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and NAZIYAH to come and work up at the shop. And I will say, let me ask my mom first regarding NAZIYAH.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Would you ever know NAZIYAH to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
Whose birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my my 4th oldest birthday.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Were there ever times that you would text Jarvis off of a text now number?
Time I would text Jarvis off a text now number.
Let me backtrack, y'all. Appreciate this super sticker, Mary. Is this the same? Because I can't remember. Is this birthday party that she's asking Shannon about? Is that the same birthday party that we saw when Jarvis came and Miss Annette was trying to break her neck to get to him? Do y'all know if that's the same party or not? I can't remember.
That's what I want to know.
Okay, yeah, I got a yes. Okay, Natty says yes. Okay, takes me out. Okay, Miss. Yep. Okay, no, it's Porky. Okay, yes. I got some yes. I got some no's. Okay, Miss Parker says no. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Here's the Blue StreamYard link. If anybody want to join me, Mel and Keisha, come on up. If you would like to tell, if you got a story, if you've been inappropriately touched and you want to come up, just come on up. Appreciate everybody. Chat moving fast. Let me get back, y'all.
2022?
Yes.
Okay. And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Were there ever times that you would text Jarvis off of a text now number?
Only time I would text Jarvis off a text now number is if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586-510-5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay, and is that a number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
And what number did you have for Jarvis funds?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for NAZIYAH?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
All right. We got a full panel, so let my special guest, Christina and Miss Parker. Salute, Christina.
Salute, Shane.
Come on, you can speak, Christina.
So when she said that Shannon may have picked Jarvis up, I agree. But my theory is it all depends on how NAZIYAH may have passed away. If she passed away suddenly, or do you think she passed away over time? Because, like, I think it all kind of depends on how she passed away. I don't think she passed away suddenly, because I think that she passed away from the medication. How do y'all think she was red-rummed?
Let me wait a minute, Keisha. Let me let Miss Parker slide in on that, and then Keisha, you come in after Miss Parker, and then Mel.
Okay.
Come on, Miss.
I like that Priscilla kind of went back on it because I just want to throw out a couple of things about the birthday party. That was not Shannon's kid's birthday party, but let's stick to that because if everybody goes to the charge of when they took it back, that was on Janiah's birthday, and also a thing to look at. They're asking about these birthday parties for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got to remember the CPS was made off the birthday party. The CPS calls was made off the birthday party where Jarvis was doing things. But let's go back to Porker's birthday party. When Annette was there, and you can't be doing drive-bys and stuff. You got to think that wasn't even none of Shannon's kids' birthday party. So why was he there? You know what I'm saying? Well, I thought he couldn't come in the house. I thought he wasn't there. Why y'all asking him about a drive-by? He supposed to be family. That's Porker party. That's Marquita's son. That's not his son. So why would he, y'all make a big deal about him being at the party? But let's piggyback right now off of what they said to Shannon, which ain't making sense. So NAZIYAH comes to you and say, where's this address? And you say, well, you know where it is. Why you asking? First of all, how do a 13-year-old know? Because she wouldn't ask. If NAZIYAH is a 4.0 student, I can't see her just coming and asking you where her address is and know where it is. You know what I'm saying? And you got mad at Jarvis for that. And what day did you pick him up, since you all of a sudden picked Jarvis up from that same address? It's coincidental that that's the last place Jarvis was with NAZIYAH and you picked him up. So, when did you pick him up from that address? What day? Because they asked her, did she have any significance to that address? No, but I did pick Jarvis up. That's significance. They asked you, did you know anything about that place? And you said no, but to turn around in the same breath and say you picked them up. NAZIYAH said they're telling them about their locations. And it was a project. And they asked her, when did she say it? All the same, she asked me the same week she went missing. Well, school only came back that day on the 9th. So how could she ask you prior that week? And then also, if y'all go back in Shannon's testimony, she said, NAZIYAH said, what y'all doing? What you and Granny doing? Let me tell y'all something. When you ready to run away, and as much as hell as they put that baby through, Shane, she ain't called no Shannon and said, what you doing? Though, let's not get in court and act like NAZIYAH curd for y'all. And she did at one point. The baby gave y'all all she could. And she came to realization that y'all did not like her. You know what I'm saying? She finally came to realization that this ain't heaven, this is hell. That's why she texted the predator and said she can't wait to get out of this hellhole. It's a lot of lies being told because Shannon says she's seen her last. Come on, it comes to the changing of the clothes for me. Y'all don't know where she walked. Y'all don't know where she walked. Y'all only got a glimpse of her on the camera. Y'all don't know if she went home. Y'all ain't got no more cameras. All them cameras Toot seen at the balloon release. Show me her continuously walking to get to Jarvis. Show me. Because she went home. That's why Shannon seen her last. And we're not going to keep saying, oh, but she was walking. Man, we ain't seen her walking nowhere. We see her on a camera, a picture. We haven't seen her anywhere. You get what I'm saying? For Shannon to see her last and for NAZIYAH to go and ask her about that address. Come on, Shannon. She only started school that day. They've been out for 2.5 weeks. Christmas break. She came home. She changed clothes. She asked you where that address was. That's why you texted Jarvis. You called him. Because what made you call Jarvis first? Huh? Out of everybody, what made you call Jarvis first? He didn't answer. Still no to the. What does that mean? He didn't answer. It's all the overplay for the underplay. But carry on with your commentary, Shane. Salute, Christina. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Mel.
Hey, say that, Miss Parker. If she was in school doing the product, why she just didn't ask the dang on teacher where the doggone street was? Why would she have to call home and ask you that? Why she just didn't ask the teacher? Right? She wasn't taking the test. She said she was doing the project. So why she just didn't ask the teacher?
But Shannon, did you pick Jarvis up at night? Because all of a sudden you picked him up at that address. When?
And Miss Parker, that's what I was like. That's what I was like. What I was asking, like, okay, you said you picked him up there as if you was trying. You want to line your story up, like, okay, if they ever look at my cell data or something like that, they'll see that I went over there. But I can say I can't remember if it was the name I went to 10. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's all I was saying. Like, by her saying like, oh yeah, it got some, that she went there before. That's why I was saying, like, I wonder, when did you go? Like, was it during this time of her being missing, or was it before? Was it after? Like, you get what I'm saying? Which one was it? So that's all I'm saying. Like, she tried to come back like, yeah, I picked him up off the counter before, but that's what I'm saying. When did you pick her up off the counter? Like, was it that same? Pick him up. Was it that same night? Was it after? Was it before? Like, we
They
don't
should have
know.
got more specific with the questions. I hope at the trial. I'm gonna need them to be specific on the questions. I'm gonna have to hit Judge Hathaway up and see if I can step in with no pay and ask some questions. I just got a couple of things I want to say, and I want to say it straightforward because I want to piggyback off of what she said about, you never know what happened when somebody's back is against the wall. How's his back against the wall when he's been touching children for a decade, over a decade, Shannon? You know what I'm saying? See, Shannon was getting nervous on that stand. You get what I'm saying? And with our mama bird, see, when they get in that room, she gonna need a cigarette. She gonna be in there sweating. Them glasses is gonna fog up. And Detective Jones, please let's fix the microphone so we can hear like we do in the first 48, baby. Y'all was trying to distort, definitely trying to distort Jarvis, his interrogation for sure. Because I've never heard an interrogation have so much. It was horrible.
It
A
was like the
horrible night.
old 2015 thing. Like the old audio. Like, come on, we're in 2025. The technology and the audio should be way better than that.
Yeah, Shannon's gonna need a pack of cigarettes and a couple bottles of water. Annette, she's toast tomorrow. I'm just letting y'all know whenever she does go in for questioning, because a lie is a lie. I don't care who tell it. And she said that again. Go back to the when I heard back-to-back testimonies, you could tell when shit got real. When again, Shane, take it back to when she had her reading the text messages, because Shannon thought getting a new phone was gonna get her out of the blue. Shannon has erased, just like she got in that tablet. You had the tablet all this time. Why did it take for the detective to come? It was that last minute. Let me make sure I cleared everything out. You get what I'm saying, Shane? It was a let me make sure I got everything. Because why all of the time you had it, why when the detective say, we're coming, you want to touch it? You know what I'm saying? And you
And
go
what
straight to Jarvis's messages. You can't go to Jarvis's messages from NAZIYAH's tablet. You can't.
Yep. And what was so
You can
cute
go to
was
her messages, but you said you went to Jarvis's messages. See, so that further lets me know that you had access. Y'all was computer savvy to get access to their codes. And what you done was you went in and you changed some things. That's how you was able to log in and play like you was NAZIYAH and start texting Jarvis the subliminals and stuff like that. Shannon knew, and it is what it is. And we have had to let the saga continue because she has dug herself in a hole, Shank. At this point, she can't get out, and Annette can't get out.
and Shannon tried to sit on that stand and just try to make it seem like her and Azaya was like oh so close with the. I know she got two passwords. One is my birth. I mean, no, one is for me and the other one is for her brother's birthday. Like you, it was like you was just trying to make everything just sound so pleasing. To think like, okay, they'll
Right.
bite down on this. Like Shannon, you know what the deal was.
Right. Shannon made sure she had access. Shannon made sure she had to keep up with um Jarvis and NAZIYAH. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That was her way of keeping up to Jarvis and NAZIYAH because this is my thing. Annette said, oh, I took her tablets, but my daughters would tell me if she was online. But your same daughter that would tell you that she was online was the same daughter that would give her the phone. You get what I'm saying? Again,
To text your man.
to keep up with Jarvis and NAZIYAH. Again, you get what I'm saying? Because if Annette took that tablet from her, she shouldn't have had access to anything. But again, for Shannon to keep up with Jarvis and how much he cared about NAZIYAH, that's where everything started stemming from. The questions of, do you like your girl skinny or fat? You know what I'm saying? Come on, Shane. Stupid stuff like that out of nowhere. Those are Shannon. And if y'all think that Shannon is not that illiterate, look at her. She chose this man over her child. Like I said again, where's the outrage? Okay, we didn't see it for NAZIYAH. This is the time.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
your daughter?
Yes, ma'am. Miss
Can
Parker,
you,
soon
what
your
you say?
live ended. I went and watched Shannon's testimony and this. I said, boom, here it is, the lies.
Absolutely. And see, Kim Worthy Shank was trying to really get a quick charge. I told everybody this, but it was confirmed today. She was really trying to get a quick conviction, but she got her ass handed to her. You know what I'm saying? And they have to go back now and comb through the testimonies. Y'all got to think they're combing through the old testimonies because we ain't got the new ones. They had to go back to the preliminary, and this is why we're here. And it's witnesses that has come forward talking about Shannon, not just Jarvis, but Shannon. And they gotta hold up to it. Because at this point, what's the rule? What's the meaning of having laws if y'all not gonna hold it? Perjury's perjury. Y'all been should have had text messages from Shannon. Y'all should have been had her phone messages. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, that shows y'all where, again, pay attention to the corruption of everything that was happening at the beginning. This shows. Now it's a new ball game. Now it's a new ball game. And they have to, I don't care who cool, because Annette should have been charged. Think about it. Why ain't Annette charged? Again, the corruption. But Annette is willing to hand her seeds down. Wasn't she gonna let Vari get convicted? Wasn't she gonna let Lady get convicted? She never said Jarvis's name. Still ain't said Jarvis's name. Shannon is gonna crash out. Mama Bear ain't there to save you. So Annette can't take those text messages that you erased.
And that's
And what was
facts.
he supposed to? And why you want to know what he hid? Did he make sure did you hide everything? Did you hide everything? What he supposed to hide? The only person that's gone is NAZIYAH. What else is he hiding? What else is Jarvis hiding, Shannon? You might as well go on and tell where she is at this point.
Or Miss Parker, did you leave your phone home on January the 9th and you knew to leave your phone at home and you went to go pick him up off of that corner and that your phone will symbolize that you was at that house knowing good doggone well you weren't at that house. Because I mean, if you leave the phone, they can't track you from your phone. If it's at
Right.
home, they gonna know
Right.
that you was at home.
Yeah. And don't forget, she said they've had more than one phones too.
Mm-hmm.
They've all that was my old number. Go back to her
Yep.
preliminary. That's my old number. And you right, Lady V. They absolutely, but I'm saying, Lady V, they should have been did that. Everybody's phone should have been pinged, fact checked, messages should have been put up. Not just Jarvis and Naziah's, because it would have brought this context a long time ago. We wouldn't even have to be here if they would have did the right thing at the beginning. Everybody's phone. Everybody's phone.
I agree. Because all this time, all the focus has just been on Jarvis and Naziah and not the other players in this, And I just never thought that some of those messages that um, they was reading came from Naziah. I just couldn't believe that she would be saying those kind of things at her age, regardless of what she was going through. Some of those texts was just to me a little bit too explicit.
Let
Where's her
me let me
opinion? Let
let,
me
let,
let me
let me
just say this thing that I'm getting down real quick. Where's
No, don't go
Naziah's
down.
opinion? I am Mel. I got something to do. Where is Naziah's opinion? We should have had Naziah's opinion from the time she left that school, not a school bus picture, because that bus picture ain't telling me nothing. What's the bus picture? She got on the bus. Okay. Show me from that time she walked past that man's camera, which is it's funny that he works for the DPD. It's awful funny that he works for the DPD, Shank, but all those other cameras on that street, show me her walking past her house and continuously walking toward that shop.
Right.
And I'm out.
let me go back to Shannon. Appreciate this super sticker RK402. Let me go back to her.
When we hit that first 1 million in sales in our first year of business, it was surreal. This is definitely going to be a thing.
As the health director in Haywood County and a nurse here in North Carolina, I can tell you that the 988 Suicide and Crisis Life
I want to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16. Yes. I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay. And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Butts?
No.
All right, let me stop this for 1 second because I meant to actually do a whole demonstration on this comment, Rhonda, but we're going to address it right now, and then later on I'll do this demonstration. If she fell out on the floor, how is she going to be walking the way she was? She wasn't in no pain, and I didn't see a bus drop her off. Now, what if, I'm just throwing this out there, what if she was faking in the floor and playing in pain? What if she was faking so she can get out of school early? Keisha, Mel?
I'm with you on that one. Since now that you said it, so she can get out of school early, and so she can call Jarvis and he can pick her up, or she can make her move.
Right. But didn't the I guess she was a substitute teacher. Didn't this? It was said that she went out the back door and walked across the street and met Jarvis, who was sitting in the truck. And the lady said she saw her head go down, and then her head came back out up, and
That
then she
wasn't
got
the
out of
same
the
day.
truck.
That wasn't the same day. That was
What
at a
day was
different
that?
time.
That was a whole different time.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't that same day.
Oh wow.
But Shank, that's a good question. What if? Because we got to think about it. We have seen on several occasions where Annette and Shannon have left, but it's mighty funny that every time they left, they always left NAZIYAH there, but the other kids went.
All right, let me rephrase that, okay? Nobody says she fell out on the floor or in pain. The teacher says she laid on the floor and asked for a counselor. That's all she said. Okay, let's backtrack. What if she laid on the floor and asked for a counselor to try to get out of leaving school early? Come on back in, Keisha or Mel.
Mel, I'll let you go because I'm thinking on that one. But that probably stick by her seeing that counselor. I don't think that would have, been grounds for her to leave early unless she would have told some other type of story. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think by her laying on the floor saying she want to see a counselor was gonna make her get out of school early. But maybe when she saw that counselor, maybe she would have said exactly what was going on. I think she maybe would have said what was really going on. I don't think for her to just get out of school early.
All right, let me move back. Let me move on back to her testimony.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
What about messages from August 26th, 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
I'm sorry, was the 26th?
August 26th.
No, these aren't my messages.
I wonder why when she
Appreciate
asked for
this
that,
super.
she didn't. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute, Mel. Wait a minute, Mel. Appreciate this super chat, Moj. The bus wouldn't have picked her up early. Come on back in, Mel. What you was getting ready to say?
I was just going to say, when she was asking her to verify if those was her message, it didn't seem like she verified the telephone number that they came from.
Good point.
And Shank, I want to piggyback on the question that you just asked when you said what if she fell out on the floor so she can leave and go home early? And I was just sitting thinking, maybe that's a possibility because we don't know who was on her contact list. Remember, they have said that Jarvis has picked, the kids up from school and stuff like that. So what if they couldn't get a hold to one of them? And she's like, well, we can call my daddy. And then you get what I'm saying? She get them Jarvis' number, and them people familiar with him coming up there, dropping them off or whatever, or picking them up, and they just released him to her.
That's facts. Let me come back, but that's facts.
Jarvis Butts ever tell you that NAZIYAH texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate NAZIYAH on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, have he seen Tuda, any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back. Oh, wow.
I didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part, I had, I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time, I sent him a message. Still no Tuda. He replied back, oh, wow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And Aaron, may I approach?
Yes.
And
Let me ask y'all real quick. What Mel and Keisha and everybody, why are they focusing in on these text messages? Why do y'all think when it comes to Shannon, they're focused in on these text messages?
Because they already got the answers and they want to know if she's going to sit up there and lie. I believe it's been baked the whole time. Like
it's possible that they feel the same way that I feel. And that's that I don't think they believe that NAZIYAH could have been testing it, even though the judge thought the text message were despicable. I just don't think she did that. But if you notice, she asked her, did she send a text, but she's never verifying what number the text came from. And I also want to go back and like when she was asking her about the text messages from June and July of 2023. Well, if I can recall, Shannon didn't live with Annette, Marquita did. But according to Annette, NAZIYAH didn't have a phone then. But just like in 2023, she would have been only like 12 or not even quite 12.
All right, let's go back.
record references. I'm showing her what's going to be proposed. People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay.
And let me just slide in. And the reason why I asked that question is what we've all known all along. But once again, this demonstration is for those that are new to the case and those that are old but just still don't get it. They're setting her up. They already know she sent the text. I mean, they are trying to catch her up in perjury. They know she's lying. If you talk to any of us about the text messages, 9 out of 10 of us are going to say they know that she was behind the text messages. But I just wanted to make this aware because I still get newbies that don't know the case. And so once again, that's what this demonstration is for. And those old timers that just won't admit that Shannon is guilty. So let's move on.
And who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And is this, I guess, do these fairly and accurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5, 6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th, 2024.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page is correct.
Let me say it again. Bad boy, what you're gonna do, what you're gonna do when they come for you. Appreciate this super chat, Trelane. All the evidence is in the text messages from the ones they tried to delete and hide to the ones we don't know the prosecution has. I agree, Ms. Parker. Everyone's phone should have been taken and searched. Facts. Facts. I'm going to come back to y'all, Mel and Keisha. Give me a minute.
Yes.
Okay. And so on January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no tada.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th, was NAZIYAH still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
At this point, I just acted that she's going to read from the text message, just admit the exhibit.
I can.
Issue with moving to admit?
No, Judge. Do these fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, they start back earlier, some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024? These fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48.
Can check. Thank you,
Judge. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed NAZIYAH for anything?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And
Now she remembers. Is it because she's realizing that they catching her, or why all of a sudden now she remembers? I'm gonna let Keisha and Mel come in. Let me grab some comments from the chat. I still just gotta say, go ahead, Mel.
She don't know what, because she don't know what phone number they're referencing. So then she's already seen her number. So that's the way I said, she don't know what phone number. She's sent so many text messages that it's insane.
Stay right there, Mel. Let me take these comments. I'd still just gotta say, LOL. I ain't never went to a location for a school project. Let us see the school project. Facts. Where the teacher that assign a child to go to an area for school, doesn't that require a permission slip? Facts. No, Jarvis was not on NAZIYAH contact list. It was stated that he was thought to be her dad, but was cleared up when she was caught in the truck. Defense knows she lying. Prosecutors see she lying too. So her back against the wall. What you doing, donkey? Do. They are setting that fool up. NAZIYAH. I believe Annette had Jarvis name down as NAZIYAH father. No, she had Marvin name there. Shannon used a text, now app, and don't remember what number it was. Appreciate the super chat, Moj. NAZIYAH would have had to get picked up early. Who signed her out of school? Having access to NAZIYAH's devices is a telltale sign. Come on in, Keisha or Mel, with the now Shannon is realizing, oh, okay, I remember that text message. Do she realize that she's being caught? What is going through her mind? Come on, Keisha.
She know that she's being caught and she knows she's being set up. So now she trying to play the, oh yeah, I remember game. But I want to know if, first of all, I want to know where, if NAZIYAH never came back to that house, I want to know how and why was her phone pinging at that location if she never came in the house. So kind of almost make you feel like Shannon was the one that was sent up there texting Jarvis and making it seem like it was her. Why was the phone pinging back to their house? And Shannon, how do we not know if you have already been in that tablet and you done seen what you have seen inside of that phone and you done wrote him something and you deleted it up out your phone, or it's been deleted up out of his phone, and that's why they sent up there asking you all those questions, because they already know. But like I say, they just need a live your testimony, you know, your lies really, so they can prosecute you because they know that you sent up their line. But how do we not know if you done already looked in that tablet? Well, we know you probably been up in there, and you just try to put that in like, oh no, to the, because you call his phone, he don't answer. But then you text him and say, still no to, and he say, oh wow, how do he know what you even saying or calling him about if you ain't talked to him to tell him what was going on for you to say still no to, and he say, oh wow. He don't know what you talking about.
That's
Or what you
facts.
send a call for. So that was just the overlay for the underplay. Like she know it. That's just an episode of what would I do for my man.
And I watch it every day. Let me come
Yeah.
back to Shannon.
Did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tada said, do you still need her to?
Okay. And do you know what was that referring to?
It was Tada had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon. I mean it. The next message is I don't know what to say, or Tada is on. Since this shit doesn't sit right with me, call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says this for life. Nigga, I thought about it. And you can pass it.
But remember, everybody, she ain't know nothing about no inappropriate touching going on. Come on, Mel or Keisha.
I'm just trying to figure out what is the what does the slang terminology of you can pass it, like what does that mean, if anybody knows?
I don't know. Anybody in the chat knows what the slang for you can pass it is?
I think probably you can, like, you know, you can keep your lies or something. Or she yeah, I think got something to do with lies.
Asia says, just like bye. Let me come back to Shannon.
And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? Well, first of all, where were these messages, where were they at?
The day of Officer Gardner came to pick up NAZIYAH's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called and said she's on her way.
Without saying what.
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come pick up the tablet.
Okay. Okay. So.
Sustained as far as hearsay.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue.
So the tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know. So one of them is referenced for her brother's birthday, and the other one is referenced for my password. So I put the first password in, and it didn't work. So I put the second password in. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling, and I seen Jarvis Butt's Instagram page. I clicked on his page, and I seen 2 messages.
Okay, and what were the messages that you saw? Well, who were they between, first of all?
NAZIYAH, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay, and what were the messages that you see?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. States.
I'm going to object to this as hearsay. They have not been admitted, and the messages themselves would be the evidence.
Were they of any? Were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay, and you said you saw 2 messages.
Yes.
Okay, did you see anything else?
It was 2 sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. There wasn't nothing there, but it was the picture was sent.
Okay. What did seeing those messages, what did they cause you to do?
Well, when I see no messages, I called him and Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? Said there's 2 particular messages that states out and there's a picture. And he stated that, I don't know, on these messages, I told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
Okay. And reading those messages, is that what caused you to text
Mr. Butts, yes.
Mr. Butts, in that you've seen the messages in the inbox and you don't really know what to believe anymore?
Correct.
Okay.
And those messages, and there is proof. It's all getting ready to come out, y'all. In this week, getting ready to come up. Those messages that she's talking about, and Shannon, those messages indicates that there were inappropriately touching, there were relations going on between Jarvis and NAZIYAH. So you knew, you was well aware they got them messages, Shannon. They got them.
My question is, she knew how her children text, but she didn't know that her children was being molested.
Cause you're the one, Shannon, that told Janelle. Why, after you told Janelle, or why even before you told Janelle, why you didn't report it to CPS yourself? That's why you are guilty. That's why you are going down. Come on, Mel or Keisha, before I move on. Come on.
I guess she didn't report it because she didn't want it to feel like she betrayed him, or she didn't report it because she knew that she would be held culpable. I mean, you can't know something like that and don't report it, because then you know what, you're going to jail. As far as the state of Texas, Michigan, because I looked it up.
Let me move on, y'all. Back to Shannon and these lies.
So, Shannon, I want to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes,
Okay. And did you see NAZIYAH that day?
my senior did that morning, correct.
Okay. And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her uniform at the time, she had on some blue jeans. I don't really recall the outfit. I just know the coat she had on.
What was the coat that she had on?
She had on, it was a 90s coat with all the characters on it.
And you recall seeing her wearing that the morning of January 9th?
Correct.
And Your Honor, may I approach people's already exhibit 2?
Yes.
All right. And I'm going to let Keisha and Mel break it down for the newbies. What is this to say, and those in the chat, in the replay gang, everybody can break it down. What is this to say about what Miss Annette said she was wearing, as well as the image, the clothing that the alleged NAZIYAH is that got off the bus, and the clothing items that were at the scene of the alleged crime, or the clothing items that was entered as exhibit, I forgot the letters and numbers. What is this to say about the clothing that NAZIYAH had on that day? Come on, Keisha.
That she went home. That she went home and changed her clothes or something. She had to go home. Shannon, she just said, I seen her that day. I mean, that morning. You seen that girl? That girl went home because how did that, was that tablet that she had at home? Was that something that was kept at home? Like, was that something that was kept at home or what? Because that's something I feel like we still don't know that. Like, was this something that was kept at home for you to have this tablet? I mean, for her tablet to be at home, was the tablet kept at home? Because we know 9 times out of 10 you using Wi-Fi and stuff at school. So was this tablet left at home? Did you take the tablet home? Like, how did that tablet get there? And then they kept on saying when they was getting pinged, that tablet was going on and off. On and off. So Shannon, you was probably deleting stuff then and just making it seem as if it was NAZIYAH during those times that tablet and stuff pinging. I believe she went home. I believe she went home and Jarvis picked her up from that house. I believe she went home. And she changed her clothes. I believe she went home.
So that would mean that King would have to have them with him, because remember, Jarvis and King was working on the car.
Yes, he play a part. He play a part in it too. Now that they came out with him about that, buying those people or whatever, trying to allegedly buy folks and stuff like that. He played a role in it too. And when Jarvis ain't text back about that little 1, 2, 3 that she wanted to have, I believe he was the one that was gonna do the 1, 2, 3 with him. He had that one in mind. Oh, King, because you gotta think about it. You in that type of field, especially if you're sitting up there trying to solicitate some streetwalkers or whatever it was that you was trying to get after. You was in it too. I believe that baby went home. She went home, and Shannon knew what was going on, and Shannon was trying to cover them tracks because why was that tablet? You got to think about it, that tablet was going on and off way before the time when they was pinging it. You was sitting up there deleting that stuff up out that phone because you've been seeing. And I wonder, was it an Apple tablet or something like that? Because you can merge the stuff in together. I done had two iPhones to where one of them on, one of them off, but I can still see stuff on my phone from a whole different iCloud because I got my stuff merged in. So I wonder, was it like an Apple device that she was using or something?
That's facts. Let me grab this real quick and we're going to move on. You can't give descriptive context and then say, I don't remember, unless she remembered after a previous testimony, she said she didn't know. And once again, this is why we point the finger at Shannon. For the old timers that just don't get it. And it's only maybe 2 or 3 old timers that still don't believe Shannon had anything to do with it. Pretty much everybody. Pretty much everybody agrees Shannon was involved one way or another. Even if it was just Shannon allowing this to happen on her watch, we all believe Shannon should go to prison. Shannon should be charged. Shannon should be held accountable. Appreciate this super sticker, Miss Jess. Salute, Shank. Let's get back to
Marquita and Annette as well.
Marquita and Annette as well. Let's get back to Shannon A's. Line A.
I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 2. Can you tell me, do you recognize a coat in this photo?
Yes.
And whose coat do you recognize that to be?
NAZIYAH's.
Okay. Now, after you when you saw NAZIYAH that morning, what did you do the rest of the morning?
Nothing. I was at home with my mom and my 2 children.
And do you ever leave the house at any point that day?
No. I was at the house the whole entire day.
Okay. And do you know what time NAZIYAH would normally get home from school?
On certain days, she will stay for after school, and then on certain days, she will come home. The days she will stay for after school is 6, and the days that she don't is at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And on January 9th, do you know if NAZIYAH had the after school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after school program, so she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see NAZIYAH come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Okay. Did you leave at any point after 3 o'clock?
No.
Okay. Did you, yes, when NAZIYAH didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other 2 children from the after school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question and said,
Objection. Sounds like hearsay.
What's that? You have a response or?
A question isn't hearsay technically.
I think she said.
It's just a question.
I'm
Yes.
just getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What was the question?
The 2 children had asked me, Mom said, did
That's the hearsay.
NAZIYAH come home?
The hearsay is mom said.
Okay, so were you asked directly whether NAZIYAH came home?
So my mom was still in the car. I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me, Mom said, did NAZIYAH come home? I said, no.
And was NAZIYAH home at all?
No.
Okay.
Now let me slide in for the newbies and the old timers. What would make Miss Annette send the children in the house to specifically check, did NAZIYAH come home? What was that all about? Why not just come in the house as normal? And where's Glamour Girl? Where's Glamour's at? Why did she send them two children in that house?
You took the question right out of my head. I was just going to ask that same question. Now that I think about it, if you say your mom had taken her out after school, that's what you said. That means your mom would automatically expect that she's home, right? But
Facts.
she didn't even get out the car. She sent the kids to ask you if she came home. Well, if she picked the other kids up from after school care, then she knew that she wasn't there. So why would she think she'd be anywhere else?
And then let's talk about this. You just said that she didn't leave and go nowhere all day long. But remember those messages that was leaked out? She said, "Oh, we went to go. This the day that NAZIYAH first went. The first day she went missing. Remember, they went to go check and see with some kids or something like that. If they had seen NAZIYAH and all this and that. But you just said that y'all didn't go home. But
You
the text
never.
messages that you put out to somebody." You clearly said we went walking around or we went asking around to her friends, have they seen her or anything, and they gave us this stuff and that's all this. Oh, could have had this stuff planned out, but you just said that that you stayed home all day long, but in messages to somebody else, you said the totally opposite thing, that y'all went looking for her. Well, not just like that, but y'all went and ask some friends or something, have they seen her? It's just the lies, like all these lies. And one thing about it, you gonna lie, you gonna keep on telling the same another lie on top of that lie, and your story gonna always switch up and change because now you said you've been in the house all day, but the message said something else.
Facts. And let me
Let me
slide.
ask a question.
Wait a minute, Mel. You killing me with your background noise, Mel. But let me just say this real quick. Facts. Appreciate this new membership, Miss Jess. Appreciate the membership. Damn. Come on, Mel. Because what I was getting ready to say, I lost that train. Oh, that's why. Hold up, Mel. That's why it's important for us content creators to keep mashing on their asses. And that's why it's important for the moderators and the subscribers to keep mashing on their asses. Because what one content creator miss, another content creator catch. What the subscribers miss, another subscriber catches. Come on, Mel. And then we're going to go to the judge. And we're going to listen to the judge and see how the judge, remember, this demonstration is only about Shannon. And this demonstration is for the newbies and those old timers that just don't get it. We're just proving our case. We're proving our point that Shannon should be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Come on back in, Mel. Come on.
What if Shannon actually picked up NAZIYAH? That means that Jarvis and King would be lying for Shannon. Maybe that's why the prosecutor asked her, did she leave the house that day? Well, what did she actually pick up? Because that still picture that they caught from somebody's doorbell cam with her supposedly walking by, that picture she didn't have on that colorful jacket, did she? Did she?
Well, according to Jarvis' sister, when she seen her at the shop that day, she had that coat on.
Jarvis' sister's a liar.
Y'all know I'm just saying, but according to her, that NAZIYAH had that coat on. According to Kim Worthy, she had on a black sweat hoodie or whatever that was. So it's like we really getting two different stories. Like we don't know if she had the black hoodie on with the character coat, or if she had the character coat on, or the black hoodie, or what. Like, we don't know because that coat haven't been recovered. But at the same time, like, we got two different stories basically about that jacket or
To
what she's
me,
supposed to have on.
the clearest description of what she possibly had on came from Miss Annette. The clearest descriptions of what she may have been wearing that day, to me, came from Miss Annette. I can't say that's what she was wearing. I'm just saying that that was the clearest description of what she may have had on. To me, came from Annette.
This is my thing. When you're a parent, a grandparent, or mama, daddy, or whatever, when your kids leave out the house, you're watching everything that they have on. I don't care if you got 10 children up in the house. I know, I know Sally had on this white shirt, Bill had on this blue shirt. Like, you gonna know exactly what these kids had on. So all this, oh, I really don't know, but I can tell you about the colorful jacket. Like, that's something you want to keep on saying. You can tell about, but y'all know exactly what these kids had on. Like, y'all know this for a fact. So all this, oh, I don't know, I can't really tell you, that is a lie. So
Miss
y'all did
Annette,
y'all prayers every morning, like you ain't look at the kids, as you say, y'all did prayers every morning. You ain't look at the kids like, oh, she got on this, or oh, you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
If y'all doing all you saying that y'all doing, you should be paying attention to those kids. So it's a lie. They know exactly what she had on. She maybe did have on them blue jeans and that stuff that they said that she had on. But how is it y'all found this pink jumper? Like I said, I strongly feel that child went home, changed her clothes, and probably everything else.
Yeah.
Mel, I gotta mute your mic, Mel, because that noise. When you catch it on the replay, Mel, you'll see what I'm saying. That noise is getting in
I'm
the
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
shredding
Let
paper.
me
But to
wait a
me,
minute,
Miss
Mel.
Annette
Wait a minute,
gave,
Mel.
oh, okay.
Let me read this real quick. Appreciate the super chat, son. I believe Shannon and Nat thought. Let me backtrack. I believe Shannon and Annette thought NAZIYAH would be a forgotten runaway, just like the others. That's why they didn't get their story straight, and that's facts. And I want to thank you for that cash donation from earlier, Son G. But that's facts, and that's why they want to shut the content creators down. That's facts. But no, you ain't shutting us content creators down. That's why we all was getting trolled. That's why the many distractions. That's why they was planting seeds, trying to have this content creator going against that content creator. That's why they was doing it, because we was on their asses. And I wish that I could shout out every content creator by name that covers the case, but I can't. But if people drop their names in my chat, I'll definitely shout them out. So as a content creator, if you don't hear me shout you out, my bad, I apologize. It's just so much going on. And I can only shout out those content creators who names that's right there. But shout out to all the content creators that's covering this case. They try to shut us down. They try to have us going at each other's throats. No, but we overcame all of that. We overcame all of that. Content creators, pop your collar. Come on, Mel.
I would, I feel like if she just ran away, just say she ran away. Why would you have someone sitting on the stand being accused of red rum? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
That's the thing. They know that she didn't run away. They know that she didn't run away, so that's why they can't. That's why they can't do that, because they know what happened to that child. They know what happened to that child. Like, it just behooves me that and it say, "Oh, is NAZIYAH in the house? Oh, Shannon. Oh no, I ain't seen her. She asked me this and she asked me that. And then you texting Jarvis, still no tutor and all this and that." because y'all knew. Y'all thought that it was gonna be swept up under the rug, and you got to think about it. A lot of times, like, well, it's different now, but the phone technologies and stuff, like, it's more different and it's more powerful. And they probably weren't even thinking like, oh, they probably ain't gonna be to know. They ain't gonna know to come here to do all of this and do all that. They just didn't think, because they didn't love her. They didn't think that she was gonna attract so much so many people that's, willing to cover her case and that's covering her case. So like, they never thought that this would get bigger than the world. They just thought it was gonna be, small little, I ain't saying Detroit small, but they just thought it was gonna just be a small time little coverage, like Miss Parker say, a real fast, easy conviction, and we don't find out none about none of this stuff. That's what they thought. They just thought it was gonna be she's a runaway, she's a runaway. And the phones get us in trouble. We thinking just because we delete something, it's gone. No. If you got that phone, and it's ways that they know how to go in your phone, even though you ain't got the phone, they know ways of going into that phone. And I say this too, Shane. What if, like how they say they got to go through 300 some new jail calls? What if they put a wiretap on their phone and they heard them? They heard them speak and say like different stuff, thinking that her and Marquita talking to one another, and they just talking to whoever. You get what I'm saying? It may be, and that's something that they got them on too. Like, we know you done said this or you done said that, because I'm pretty sure they done tapped Shannon's phone.
And let me say this, y'all. 50% believes that she's unalive. 50% of me believes that she ran away. But some things have came across my desk that leans more towards she's unalive. She's no longer. Go ahead, Keisha. Go ahead.
Miss Parker gave me that feeling today, and for the longest, my mind have always been that she was alive. But I've been on Miss Parker live all day, the whole 3 some hours that she been on, and just listening to her. And today it finally hit me like, yeah, I don't think she's no longer here. But for these 8-9 months that I've been covering this case with everybody, my mind has always been like, she's still here. They just got her put up somewhere real good, just hidden, and but today just it changed me. Like, my mind telling me like, yeah, it's over now. Like, it's over.
And I don't want to be the damper on nobody's parade, but some things did come across my desk. Let me go back to Shannon, and then we're going to go to the judge. The judge puts the icing on the cake. And after hearing this demonstration, and then after hearing the judge, if you still don't believe Shannon is involved, ain't nothing I can tell y'all. But let me go back to Shannon.
And did you do any sort of looking for NAZIYAH that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my twin sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by, if they had seen NAZIYAH, heard from NAZIYAH and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. Her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom, did she want me to call police? She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Right there definitely puts Miss Annette in it. Because why would you wait until in the morning to call the police? Not unless Shannon is lying. Now that everything is playing out, will Shannon and Miss Annette, will they turn on each other? Because that's a possibility. I've seen this. I'm sure you all have seen this. See, when ain't no heat put to that ass, man, we ain't worrying about them. Woo 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 woo. We gonna stick to our story. But when that heat get put to that ass, I done seen. Listen now, I done seen some tough dudes. I done seen some mean dudes, monsters, men and women. When that fire get put to their ass, they turn into little mices. They tell everything. What will happen in the days to come, in weeks to come? Will you, Annette, and Shannon, will y'all turn on each other? I'm just asking.
Absolutely. What just hit me again? Like earlier when Miss Parker and them was talking about like rain of fire and stuff like that, it just hit me. I remember that girl had said, but like I want to say she said that Jarvis trial wasn't gonna start when it was gonna start, and a lot of more people was gonna come out. Jarvis, knowing that they trying to pin this charge on him, he was gonna start talking, and I feel like that. I feel like Jarvis then started talking. He done implicated Shannon up in it because he ain't trying to go down by himself. And that probably get charged with some type of neglect charge or something like that. But Shannon's going down. I believe Jarvis is now finally talking because you got to think about it. You got all these victims and stuff like that coming out. That's like yourself. If you can try to cut you a little deal or something like that, to where you won't have to spend the rest of your life in prison, you willing to just go and start talking and giving up some type of information. And I believe that's what Jarvis doing. I believe he's coming to reality, and all these people. And you got more than 10, so that's about a life sentence right there. I mean, they stick of you.
How many of us watch 48 Hours? Drop a 1 if you watch 48 Hours. And don't we see it on damn near every 48 Hours episodes? Don't they start talking? Don't they get to crying and I can't do this? I'm just saying.
And I believe that's what happened. I believe he's finally talking, and it's crazy because the girl said that he's gonna be talking, but we don't know for certain if he's talking, but he was gonna implicate Shannon into all of this stuff, and Shannon was gonna get charged soon. She said that.
It's a no-brainer.
Start talking, and I believe he's talking.
Let me come back to Shannon, and then we're going to go to the judge, y'all.
Shannon, did you know NAZIYAH to have a pair of red and black Nike shoes?
Yes.
Okay. And if I showed you a picture of them, would you be able to identify them?
Yes.
Roku's self-serve ads platform. It's easier than ever with Ads Manager. Sign up today.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And for the record, this is going to be from People's Proposed Exhibit 14, and it'll be picture 34. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for to the birthday.
Okay, thank you. Now, back on the 9th, you said your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
Correct.
Okay. Did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Okay. Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find NAZIYAH?
Yes. we went out. I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do, like what was asked of us to do.
Since January 9th, 2024, have you seen NAZIYAH?
No,
Have you, since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from NAZIYAH?
no.
Nothing further at this time, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Harris, I also have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years?
Correct.
And fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him for most of that time?
Correct.
But towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on, fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you have 5 children with him?
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a motel to have sex with him?
Correct. Yes.
And that motel was the Park Rest Inn?
Or the SharePoint.
There was more than one?
Multiples, yes.
Okay. But one of them was the Park Rest? Said yes?
Correct.
And it's in Harper Woods?
Correct.
On Harper?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Butts, or do you suspect that Mr. Butts has taken other women to those motels also?
Correct.
You do? I believe you said that you have, of your 5 children with him, 2 are girls?
Yes.
And 3 are boys?
Correct.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave the Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
And so there were times when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids?
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids?
Correct.
And then the Bedford address is when NAZIYAH was also living there, correct?
Correct.
And I believe you just testified that on January the 9th, you were living at that house?
Correct.
And you were there during the day?
Correct.
And so were you one of the first people that realized that NAZIYAH did not come home when she was expected to be home?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question by the other kids had asked, did I have NAZIYAH came home yet, or have I seen her? And I said,
now we're going to stop right there. Now, if NAZIYAH was supposed to have been home at 3, correct? Why did it take, your words, why did it take for the kids to come in and inquire to you, did NAZIYAH come home? You should have peeped that before the kids even got there to question you. You should have been on the phone with Miss Annette. Mama, did you stop past the school to pick up Tudor? Mama, is Tudor at the after-school program? Mama, Tudor didn't come home.
You want to know why I think? Because she's a big fat slob that probably laid down in a bed and scrolled on her phone, sending him 1,000 text messages per day because he wouldn't even stun her. And let's not forget this. She asked you what did y'all do all day? You left out the fact that you went downtown to the place to file for paternity for Jarvis. You left that out. You left that one out because you did that the next morning. I think they got that filing paper around at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. You left that out.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did. The very next day. So it go to show you before you gave that tablet and you've been synced that information in that tablet. That's what made you go run down there to go file for that paternity. Cause you seen that. Why out of all the time she went missing, she ain't come home today? Oh well, tomorrow. You know what? Tomorrow when I wake up, I'm finna go downtown. I'm finna go file for paternity. You've been dealing with him for all this time. Why you ain't been doing it? Why you wait until the day after this child haven't came home? Y'all ain't seen this child for you to go run down there to file that. What was your reason? Telling them folks full of stuff, man. But she left.
Come on in, Mel.
I was just trying to think if NAZIYAH did come home, what if she did something to her and she stayed in the house till the next morning? I don't know. Somebody is fibbing.
Somebody lying. Son 2 says, side note, y'all, I live in Detroit. And if you in a relationship, no man who respects you takes you to either of those motels. Those are roach motels.
It sounds like it.
But how did she know that he took other women to those hotels? How did she know that?
Well, allegedly, that's what they say he found her and Marquita, didn't it? They seem like some old Facebook dating people. I'm gonna go meet this man off Facebook.
No, I think Marquita met Jarvis first on the bus.
That's what she said. She met him at. Oh no, that's where they met Dre at the hotel, I think. I ain't for sure.
We're gonna go to the judge, and we're gonna hear the judge pretty much put the icing on the cake, y'all.
Trial. And the one thing I had highlighted in case is the quote, in this case, there was no physical evidence such as blood stains or a weapon leaking defendant to Joyce's death. In this case, we don't have the same facts or circumstances. I do agree, this is a circumstantial case, and circumstantial evidence is sufficient for a bind over and even conviction. Today is January 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year, from the day NAZIYAH Harris disappeared. Before I get into the charges, and the main charge of premeditated first-degree murder, I have to speak on NAZIYAH Harris and the community who failed her. And I am only presented with certain evidence. I don't know the whole story. The attorneys know more than me, the family knows more than me, but from what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, AKA King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including NAZIYAH, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. The school counselor who never showed up, or the person who was supposed to show up if that counselor was absent, after NAZIYAH was on the floor on the day she went missing, saying that she needed to speak to someone and speak to a counselor. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a 1-year thing. There are text messages at least from 2022. To her adoptive grandmother, Annette Harris, whose testimony, in my opinion, was very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to establish NAZIYAH's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine. to establish also that NAZIYAH was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted NAZIYAH. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that NAZIYAH had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing, and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show between him and NAZIYAH that he did in the basement, saying he was going to the shower, stealing her panties. He was always lurking around that house and asking for Janiyah and Zaniyah, from what I know. I even thought about the breakfast routine and saying that all the kids like eating breakfast at school. Did they have a choice? I don't know. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there 2 women in that house who have birthed children themselves who did not notice that NAZIYAH was pregnant, and I believe she was, and not having her period anymore? But then after hearing text messages today, begging Jarvis for pads as if she didn't have anyone else to give them to her. And what stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that NAZIYAH did not come home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police. Without a tear, without emotion, or any expression of being devastated. And to her Aunt Shannon, who also showed no emotion, expression of being devastated from NAZIYAH going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for NAZIYAH, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police either. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from NAZIYAH or having any indication that she was coming home that night. And of course, the defendant, who I will get to in a minute. I don't know who else failed NAZIYAH, but the community did. As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count 1, as it's been stated that there is no contention with counts 2 and 3.
Let me just stop right there because I just wanted to, and I'll let it all play out, y'all. But even the judge holds Miss Annette and Shannon accountable. Any last words, Mel, before we get out of here? Or better yet, you don't got to give your last words right now. Just come on in, Mel.
No, I will. And these will be my last words, so you don't have to ask again. But I'm just really anxious to see what happens in the upcoming week. To just see the culpability. But to me, Jarvis was wrong for what he did. But as far as what happened to NAZIYAH, I feel Shannon is the most culpable one, or the most responsible one. And that's it for me.
Appreciate you, Mel. Any last words, Keisha, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say, justice for NAZIYAH, and I don't want them to really rush this trial. I mean, if it's going to take a long, long time to come to life, then, let's take all the time that we need to take so she can get the proper justice that she needs. And not just her, but, like the other victims too. But, I would say, not saying to like not focus on the other people, but like focus on her a little more, knowing the fact that she's possibly unalive and stuff like that. So I want them to just take their time and just do it right so she can get the proper justice. Also the other ones as well, but her the most, even though all of them all equal, but just by her situation being what it is. So that's it.
Appreciate you,
And
Keisha.
thank you for having me up.
You're welcome. Appreciate you. Can I get everybody to give it up for my guest panelists? This is just the beginning, y'all. Just have patience, and we're going to see what's going to be happening in the days to come. But once again, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Salute everybody. I love the chat. Y'all really was cooking down there in the chat. I see everybody on the replay gang. Salute everybody. Content creators. Pop your collar. Pop your shit. We did it. We did it, y'all. And we still got more work to do. Y'all can hang around. I'll leave the chat running. Salute everybody.
In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and the testimony I heard that NAZIYAH was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first-degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texted. No social media for a year. We heard through testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical sighting of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicated that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death. The black hoodie found in the area of 7 Muhlenberg with her DNA and blood on it. The holes in the hoodie consistent with some sort of struggle, violence, or weapon being used. And we know that there were no holes in that hoodie when she wore it to school. We saw a picture of her in a black hoodie on her last day that everyone saw her. I do believe her grandma testified truthfully about the sweatshirt that she had on and that it was practically new. And the border agent who said that no evidence of animals would have destroyed the clothing or the shoes to possibly lead to animals tearing up that hoodie. The clear glasses found in the blue Nissan the day after she went missing, the behavior of the defendant when he snatched those glasses. They looked exactly like the glasses she had on in her last picture, according to the witness. The shoes that her brother described as the same shoes that were found also in the area of 7 Muhlenberg near the hoodie. While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the two of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation. And they were proven to be lies with text messages and other testimony. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on NAZIYAH. It went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up.
I'd like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half and half. All right, good looking out. Tinted window screaming after law out my mouth. I'm switching lanes from up north to down south. Now everybody trying to figure how I put it down. I took my show on the road straight out of town. Pee-wee is my nigga, so you know I brought some crooks with me. 1998, they tried to throw the book at at me. Tell me what you see every time you take a look at me. A straight P, I only be where the hookers be. A old head, but still can pull any fly chick. One thing's for sure, you never see me ride a nigga dick. I got a thoroughbred who loves to call me pretty daddy. Through Alabama, getting hit in a pink caddy when I come through. Everybody knows me, the young niggas love me. They call me they OG. Go and do your homework about the shit that I spit. They gon' tell you that that nigga Shank is legit. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. I eat a chicken box before I play a game of spades. Can I get some ketchup? A half is sweet tea mixed with lemonade. Some brown liquor with a Coke to sharpen up my skills. I switch lanes cause I only fuck with the real. Now she's a winner, so I got to keep her on my team. Plus I'm a real one, so I never ever sell her dreams. You wanna know if I'll quit or if I'll stop? But they say it ain't over till your casket drops. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes.